Welcome to another episode of Honest Abe Living in the Kitchen. I'm April Patterson, and I'm excited to bring Miss Molly Cooper back with us, our Director of Marketing at Honest Abe Log Homes, along with our interior designer. And honestly, she wears a lot more hats even than that. So we are going to make
Baked Ziti.
Baked Ziti, and it's a prep meal.
So it's a meal prep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is a really big thing. I know with kids and with life and school, being able to meal prep and have these meals in the freezer, you pull them out, pop them in the oven, by golly, you got
a meal.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to do a couple today. So we'll show you all of those and we'll freeze those and we'll be able to pull them out through the week and use them when life happens.
I love it. Let's get cooking. So we're going to start out browning our hamburger meat. This is some of our meat we've raised at our farm at Acres of Grace Farm. So I'm really excited to get cooking on this. And Molly's
good.
Yes, you're going to show us the rest.
We are going to, we've got some water boiling on the stove, and we are going to cook off this pasta just until done. So you don't want to make it all the way finished, so al dente. But we'll get this in the water. Main thing to our pot of water for our pasta is salted. So you really want it to be a good, nearly sea salt saltiness because that pasta, there's so much of it, and it really absorbs all of the salt. And while we're at it, we're going to just give our hamburger meat just a little bit of salt as well. Okay, so for the pasta sauce mixture, I'm going to go ahead and start putting that together. So we're going to have our egg. I cracked it in a bowl just so that we can check and make sure that we don't have any shells in that egg. So we're going to put that down in our bowl, that to the side. And then I am going to just go ahead and put together all the rest of it, all of the ingredients that we have. And I don't typically measure when I cook. I just sort of measure with my eyes. So if, that just makes it a little quicker. And that's the whole point of these meal preps. So we are just pouring the hamburger pasta sauce mixture into the ricotta cheese mixture, and we will combine that. April is going to stir that up really good for us.
I can do that. I can stir.
We are going to now put the drained, rinsed pasta into our sauce mixture. Okay, so we are going to take our ziti mixture, pour it into our throwaway dish that will be easily frozen so we can pull this out this week. We're just going to pour it in. I did spray this pan with some Pam, and because we don't want it to stick, we want to be able to get all of the good stuff out whenever we go to serve it. And we're just going to evenly distribute it in this pan and sprinkle it all over, coating it pretty good. Usually I will use a whole 2 cups. The recipe calls for like 3, but that's a lot of cheese in my opinion. So I cut it down to 2. And finally, we're going to garnish it with just a little bit of fresh basil right on top. Get everywhere. And that's it. That is baked ziti. We will put it in the freezer today, and by Thursday we're going to mess up and we will not have planned for dinner, and we'll be able to pull it out and have dinner.
Okay, guys, so we've got our first meal prep, the baked ziti, and all they're going to do when they're ready to take this out is 375 degrees, bake for 55 minutes covered with foil. The last 5 minutes, take it off.
Yep. And if it's super frozen, you may want to add 20 more minutes to your cooking time just to make sure that middle is really good and cooked through. Extra bonus, if you have time or think of it, you could set it out and thaw it out for just a little bit. Just set it on the counter and let it thaw out at room temperature. And that should take maybe an hour, hour and a half or so. and then bake it off at 375 for 55 minutes. Uncover for the last 5 so that you can get that cheese nice and toasted up on top. Yay! The final step, what we're going to do before we put it in the freezer, is we are going to cover it. I always like using 2 layers. I don't know why. There's no science behind it whatsoever. But that's just what I do. So here we are, ready to go in the oven. If you're super cool, like April, you could, and if you do this a lot, if you've got a lot of different meal preps that you're going to do for the week, you know, obviously you need a mark on here. Baked Ziti, go for it.
Look at that beautifulness.
Baked Ziti. Go for it.
All right, we're going to do some more meal preps, so stay tuned for the next one.